I always love it when Mattel gives us something we've never quite seen before, and I have to say that is exactly how I feel here with Steel Blue Jackson Storm. Now, I'm not a big fan of how they distributed him and the fact that he's only available currently in Malaysia. Like, what is that? But getting past that, this is a beautiful car. I've never quite seen a metallic blue so deep and just so majestic as it is presented here on Jackson Storm. So I'm really excited to get into the review of him. And yeah, welcome back, guys, to another Disney Docket presentation. Let's just start with some history here on the Steel Blue Jackson Storm. Now, this is, like I said, only available in Malaysia for a Toys R Us promo. Some sort of, buy something, you get this guy for free, essentially. They do those, or they used to do those a lot here at Kmart and Toys R Us as well. But they completely stopped when those stores, pretty much just died. Kmart is barely surviving. They're hanging on by their last breath. But Toys R Us, even though there are rumors of a revival, for practical purposes here in the United States, it is dead. So some of these things have moved to like Malaysia for some reason, like Todd the Pizza Planet truck. Although being exclusive to Walgreens here in the US, there was also a Malaysia Toys R Us promo for it. Now, the difference between Todd and Steel Blue Jackson Storm is that this guy's not available at Walgreens. He is apparently so far exclusive to the country of Malaysia, which is a little upsetting because I'm telling you, there's a lot of people in the world who would love this car. So I got it from a friend who got it from a contact down in Malaysia. And we're very grateful for those people in Malaysia who are helping us around the world get to him. I mean, you can see here the packaging's far different from, something we'd see. It's got way more languages, all the way down to Arabic here. And the interesting thing I want to point out here for the prototype image is that it has that engineering code that I frequently talk about in my videos. When you see that engraved code, it means it's an engineering prototype. And it mind boggles me that Mattel let this slip up and they actually published it here on a packaging. I mean, come on, you never usually see that on a card back. I mean, they could easily just have blurred that out just by, paint blurring the rest of the paint, and just moving, what I'm saying. You could easily Photoshop that to go away. I could easily do that because it resembles the one that I have here, the 047. Now, what would be really cool is if somebody got the 099. I mean, that'd be absolutely incredible. But it's probably still in the hands of Mattel. But that is a little upsetting that they just let something slip out like that. But, it goes to show, kind of how they do things. Now, this is made in China. Yes, it is made in China, not Thailand, which is again something strange, but also, kind of leads me to believe that this may not end up hitting the United States or really anywhere else besides Malaysia, which would be definitely disappointing. Now, I do want to note that there are the rookie stripes there on the back. Mine is a prototype, as I mentioned, so it's missing a rookie stripe, and it's also not in the greatest condition, but I'm not going to open this one up because it could end up being pretty rare. So I'll be right back on the table so we can take a look one-on-one with Steel Blue JS. This is such a deep, like ocean blue that my camera is changing its toning to handle it. Honestly, whenever I review a blue car, my camera quality gets a little funky, so just bear with me here, guys. But honestly, this is a gorgeous car, and you can really, truly only appreciate it by seeing it in person. But I'm going to try and give my best representation of it here. So it is a typical Jackson Storm expression there, where he's looking kind of mean and determined. 047 is the engraving, probably the clearest engraving I've ever seen on any engineering prototype. I mean, it's right there, and it is engraved deeper than I usually see. Of course, he's got all the same decals: Igniter, Liquid Adrenaline. Contingency sponsors are clear. Oh my god, I'm not used to this because we've reviewed so many Thailand cars recently. But the Piston Cup, Combustor, Carbon Cyber, and Synergy. Igniter, there's the arrow indicating to the pit crew where to lift them up at to change the tires. Exhaust pipes. The Hurricane logo made to look like an S here. Jackson Storm 2.0 roof flaps. So yeah, if you guys didn't see in my silver Jackson Storm review, This S is actually a hurricane logo, the universal hurricane symbol that Pixar cleverly made into an S to represent Jackson Storm. So kind of a dual purpose, because storm and then hurricane is a storm. So very clever that they did that. Igniter is on the spoiler here, but it's very hard to see. My spoiler's kind of jacked up. But you have the blue flares there, and then the gas cap that is outlined in yellow. God, I can't even talk today. Flares. Anyways, here on the back, you have the typical Igniter and 2.0 decal. One rookie racing stripe instead of the usual two. It looks like it was there, but it got worn off. You could see the residue. So that's a little strange how something could, be there and then removed. On the base here, you see no date stamp because it is a prototype, but all of the other markings, just missing that little white stamp there. So a gorgeous release. We can only hope that it does get a more broad release here over the next few months. We just have to be patient and see what happens. And hopefully, though, we have some good Malaysian friends to help us get the Blue Steel Jackson Storm, and hopefully for some reasonable prices. I'm not sure how many were made, but not that many, but all, in theory, not that few either. Now here's Silver Jackson Storm. I just reviewed this guy. I'll put the link in the description below and the card suggestion pop-up in the top right-hand corner. He is kind of similar in the essence that they're both metallic variants of Jackson Storm that leave the back half here black, although he doesn't have the rookie stripes at all, and that's not an air. It's more of a Mattel kind of oversight. But yeah, both of these are phenomenal releases, and I want to ask you guys, which one is your favorite, Blue Steel or Silver? Silver Jackson Storm is just now hitting Target stores in the United States. I found it the day I'm recording this. I found two, in fact. Very exciting because it was the first time, one of the first times somebody has found KC in the entire world. So for me to be one of the first, that's very unusual, but very exciting as well. Now you might see like kind of almost a dent here on my Jackson Storm's hood. And yeah, if you run your finger across it, you do feel the change in elevation. So looks like my Jackson Storm has seen a little bit of warfare. He's taken a beating for sure. Now, like I said at the beginning of the video, I love when Mattel gives us something we've never quite seen before. And to prove my point, I want to show you other blue metallic cars, pretty much every single other one. And I'm going to tell you for each of them that this blue is just far better, far more mesmerizing to me. I mean, it's hard to explain how good a color can be, but truly in person, it's incredible. So here is the Neon Raoul Sarul that has a metallic frontier, which looks good and all, but for being such a small area, it doesn't even shape up to Jackson. Same thing here with the actual metallic Raoul. A wonderful expression, a rare release only in Europe. Or was it Canada? I think it was only Europe, maybe both. But that blue just does not shape up to this one here. It's so much fainter and not as deep as Jackson. Same thing applies with Sally here. I mean, her color is obviously different, but it's not like Jackson had any blue either. They just thought this would be a really cool color that would look phenomenal on Jackson. And they hit the nail. I mean, they hit it right in the head. They nailed it out of the park on this one. If they could only distribute it correctly, we'd be in business. DJ comes close in his bluish purple metallic paint, but no, doesn't shape up to Jackson, not quite. Both of them are phenomenal, though, I must say. And last but not least is the King here, Metallic the King. Also very nicely done, but just not as good as Jackson. It's like an aquamarine blue, too. It's not just a straight up blue. So that is all for this video. Thank you guys. Actually, wait a second. I missed out. I missed Fabulous Lightning McQueen over here, who's probably the most similar blue, but again, more of a dark navy blue versus an aquamarine blue, which is tough to do when it's metallic, because metallic tends to darken the color. Dino Drafsky, who's just terrible. I absolutely cannot stand this scavenger hunt release because of the fact that literally only 25% of him is metallic. Rex Reveler is a little bit better here. This is a Thailand metallic release here. Same thing with Sally. But yeah, that will do it. Did want to mention this Black Neon McQueen that I reviewed for the 12 Days of Christmas. He is kind of in the same boat as Jackson, a non-canon release that we don't exactly know how it's going to get released. I mean, Jackson, okay, we know that he's a Malaysian exclusive so far, but I don't think that was Mattel's plan. And same thing with Black Neon McQueen here. We don't know if he'll eventually get released, but I would think if he does, it would be similar to the way Jackson is getting released, or how he hopefully will more broadly here in the future. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Again, let me know which one is your favorite. I will see you guys soon for another video. Bye now.